Hi, this is Michael, and in this video, we're looking at the XRP chart. The patterns at the lows of 2014 and 15 and 16 on this chart, they have they have some clues in them, right? So using the waves in a way that basically tells you that there's only certain waves that can occur at certain times. If there are some waves that are not in, they shouldn't be there, basically, then chances are is that you're looking at something that is part of a bigger picture, right? And one thing I always say is waves can be different sizes, right? And as I've seen recently in charts such as the US dollar, you can get some pretty big corrective, expanding corrective patterns, which are part of a bigger move that's coming. I don't think there's any difference with this chart. Now, this this here, right, looks like a zigzag wave, right? Then you've got a 5 wave move, and then you've got a 5 wave move, right? And then after that 5 wave move, you've got a 3 wave move and a 3 wave move. Now, it's easy to assume that this could be an A, B, C, and then D wave comes later, except there's a D and E missing for that part, and then this, if this is the last part of the zigzag, well, it's just too long. So this is its own 5 wave move, part of a different structure, but still part of a correction that started at this point. Okay, so let me just get rid of this stuff for now. This is why I've labeled this basically like a 1-2, 1-2 without having seen the previous waves of the first wave. So it appears as though, if anything, this is a wave. We're in a wave 3, but alternation can definitely cause the wave 2 to be expanded and prolonged if the first wave 2 was not as long and smaller. There definitely does happen. That does happen, absolutely. So that means we're in a long-term D wave. D wave until it's over, and then we get an E wave, and then we keep moving higher. So it appears as though, you know, this has just been stuck in a rut for a little while. It doesn't mean it's not going to get out of it. It doesn't mean that we're not going to see another one of these moves. It just means that this is just the beginning of a larger move higher. Because what would cause this sort of pattern to begin here like this without it having the potential to explode to the upside? And yeah, if it's a 1-2, 1-2 pattern, then it definitely will eventually. But for now, we're stuck in this area of ups and downs. And how do I look at this? Well, it's a very particular view, and it has taken a long time to sort of get to the point where I have some faith in the view, given the choppy nature of this crypto, if you can call it that. So so we're looking for a D wave, long-term D wave. This is A wave, and then during the B wave corrective process, we have an A. Now we're in a B wave, so similar to Bitcoin, except obviously far different. So within this pattern here, we have a very small A wave, followed by an A, B, C, and now we're in D. So we're in D wave of wave. So D wave of the B wave, in brackets, of the B wave, right? Yes, complex, but not hard to understand if you know the waves. Now, the one thing that strikes me on this chart as being interesting is how small the A wave is. And the way that this can resolve itself is basically what happens when we get to the end of D wave. The E wave won't be very deep, won't be the drop won't be severe, is what I'm trying to say. How high will it go at this point? Well, it depends. Have we seen a low yet, right? Um, from current levels, how would you measure this? Well, you just take wave A of the D wave within the B wave, and you just do this. So you'd probably looking at $3.80, $4, something around that. No one can really know for sure. But the pattern for D would be complete. And then, as I mentioned earlier, because of the shortness of the A wave, you really wouldn't have much of a drop at that point. You'd only have something to go down so far because you need to see, sure, it can be slightly longer than A wave, especially because this might be like a weak 5 wave move. But nonetheless, it's still, it's still, look, it might even chop out for a while, right? Because I think that other cryptos will probably fall a bit lower potentially. There's nothing to really say that's 100% going to happen. But, for something like that to occur, you could basically be looking at a prolonged sideways move from here, right? And then that move. So I don't know. It's interesting for now. Not really important yet, but we will get to the point where we want to know what's going on, and I believe that type of thing will provide a clue. Um, yeah, look, as I said, long term, we've got a lot of potential, but for some reason, this D wave is sideways. The correction of it is sideways. So for now, let's just leave it at that. And yeah, hopefully you found it interesting and informative. Thank you for watching.